to say, I never thought that I'd be at a press conference in the city surrounded by a bunch of pickup trucks. Never thought I would see it, but here we are. And these are no average pickup truck. These pickup trucks have solid green credentials. San Francisco has a long history of groundbreaking initiatives and environmental victories. This is where the latest green innovations happen. Whether it's pursuing our zero waste goals by 2020, whether it's reducing toxics in San Francisco, whether it's becoming the electric vehicle capital of the U.S., this is where green innovations happen. And we practice what we preach here in San Francisco. Every City of San Francisco department is required to develop a department climate action plan annually, which inventories their own emissions and sets climate action targets for the department. This process engages departments that don't typically consider themselves environmentally focused and effectively makes the link between environmental responsibility and the financial bottom line via efficiency. Requiring each city department to be responsible for their carbon footprints helps integrate the city's climate work into all levels of organizational functioning and incentivizes all employees to participate in this process. The program that we're going to announce today will help make our individual departments' fleets more sustainable and help us meet the goals from our climate action plans. Additionally, plug-in hybrid technology and these electric vehicles represent a good start towards achieving the new fuel efficiency standard that was just announced by President Obama of 54.5 miles to the gallon. And this was announced when President Obama noted, just as cars will go farther on a gallon of gas, our economy will go farther on a barrel of oil. When we achieve the 54.5 mile per gallon target, it will reduce U.S. oil consumption from our vehicles by 40% and cut in half the amount of greenhouse gas pollution coming out of our exhaust pipes. So electric vehicles, as you all may know, building out the electric vehicle capital here in San Francisco is one of Mayor Lee's top environmental priorities, which you will hear shortly. And we are honored to be partnering with Chrysler and the U.S. Department of Energy to push forward with yet another dimension of electric transportation. But first, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Abdullah Bazi, who is Chrysler's Senior Manager of Electrified Powertrain Program, to tell you more about this program and make a special presentation to Mayor Lee.
Thank you. Thank you, Melanie. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for the warm welcome, Mr. Mayor. Beautiful weather, beautiful city. Really, you could really applaud for that. On behalf of Chrysler Group LLC, I'm proud to present the mayor and the city of San Francisco with the keys to 14 of the Ram 1500 plug-in hybrid trucks. These trucks are part of a grant that Chrysler has received from the Department of Energy to demonstrate the technology to further enhance the ability of Chrysler's engineering organization to implement this technology on future applications, to be part of the green image that Chrysler embodied, and to support the recently announced President Obama's fuel economy ruling. We are very proud to be a partnership with you, Mr. Mayor, and we're looking forward for working with your team over the next 3 years to demonstrate the technology and to learn from how they will drive, to collect data, and to further enhance the ability to demonstrate this further in future applications. So thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to working with your team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
These are the keys for those.
Which one? This one?
All of them. You can choose. They're all yours.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Bazi. We're just commenting as we were walking up that Bazi's been in the auto industry for quite some years, and I've been working in government for quite some years, and we're both trying to find our youth in what we do, and it's really neat to actually work on something that's fun, that is great for our country, that is very, very much part of this movement that I think the whole country is now interested in, and that is getting off our foreign oil and making sure that we do something for our environment. And just to understand, I mean, this is fun because you're looking at 14 pickup trucks that have in them the Hemi engine, but powered by electricity. And these 14 pickup trucks will be lent to us for the next 3 years for free, thanks to our Department of Energy and their grants with Chrysler's own contributions put together to allow for our city to be one of the few cities across all of the United States. I know Sacramento will have some of these, but other states, I think there's only less than a handful of other states that are participating in this very nice experiment. For San Francisco, we're going to probably be one of the hilliest cities that have this opportunity for the next 3 years to test these electric trucks in the most hardened way. In other words, we're going to have Department of Public Works picking up trash in these vehicles, the Bureau of Engineering to be looking at and traveling to all the parts of the city in these vehicles, managing the projects in this city, thanks to our city engineer here. We have a multitude of different departments under our acting city administrator, including, interesting enough, our animal care and control that will be carrying stray pets, animals in these trucks and making sure that they are safely transported, be they from our streets and into shelters and so forth. We have our PUC, our police department, our real estate department, a multitude of some 14 different departments that will have a chance to use these trucks in the way in which they operate, the very essence of city fleet operations. So I want to thank Chrysler for allowing San Francisco to experiment with our Department of Energy. And also, while we're experimenting with this, data will be fed to UC Davis as a partner. I know Professor Tarentine is here, who's the director of our plug-in vehicle demonstration project at UC Davis, working together with the Transportation Electrification Institute here. And I think with their cooperation, getting the data about how these vehicles are used, how they're tested, whether they go up hills as efficiently, and bringing in the cargo and the animals and the tools that DPW will use, and our various departments that have immediate use, whether they're inspecting buildings or inspecting streets, all of the different uses that a city fleet uses, all on the dime of the Department of Energy, because they want to see these electric vehicles used properly, used the way they are used as we use our fleet generally now. So they will be hopefully replacing the fleets that we are in use now and saving that amount of money for on oil, and then do what I usually do now today in my electric vehicle. I actually keep in mind I don't want to ever run out of electric power. Whenever I'm doing, and as I come to City Hall, I ask my staff, plug it in, to make sure that I try not to every day use any ounce of oil, to make sure that we can do it in the cleanest way possible. That makes it fun. It's a little bit of a game that I play with our staff, but I understand that that's a game that everybody is playing with these cars, is trying to make sure if they can go about the full day of activity and not use a drop of oil. That makes it fun, it makes it challenging, and it makes it keep my mind up and keep our minds up as we use these vehicles the proper way. This is an experiment that's come across. It's appropriate for San Francisco to do this because we declared some 2 years ago, in cooperation with all 9 counties in the Bay Area, we want to be the EV capital of the world. And we are doing all the things necessary to make sure we are at that capital. So with the cooperation of great cities like San Jose and Oakland, but also Sonoma and Alameda counties, we are already putting in the anxiety-free charging stations all over our Bay Area. In fact, the airport already has some, I think it's 14 chargers already installed at the airport. And we have, by the end of this summer, some 43 charging stations in our garages that are already be done by the summer. By the end of the year, working together with ChargePoint America and Coulomb Technologies and their federal grants through the ARA grants that were granted earlier, we will have 100 charging stations within San Francisco already installed. So you will not have any anxiety. And one of those is in the mayor's garage, and that'll be installed in the next couple of weeks. so that these fast chargers will be out there in the public setting. And then with ChargePoint America, along with Coulomb, in the whole Bay Area, they're doing 200 charging stations for residents and another 200 in the public sector for the whole Bay Area. So we're getting rid of the anxiety very quickly, and we're making sure that all of the automobile manufacturers, including Chrysler, can develop these vehicles the best way they can, use our data for our use, test pilot them. But ultimately, I think we're going to see companies like Chrysler really bring to market electric vehicles for all of our citizens to use, and every city fleet is doing so. We're working with different companies throughout the Bay Area. I know Sonoma is working with Nissan Leaf, Alameda is working with a different company. We're all experimenting on the different fleet uses of this. But this is the first time I've seen workhorse trucks that really the DPWs of the world, the PUCs of the world, all of the utility-driven departments of our city can use to carry their equipment, to carry cargo, the transport trash, and all the other things that we do. These are the workhorses. This is really going to be a great test, and it's a great use of federal funding for this. I have to say, and I have to make sure I say this too, I'm happy for this moment because President Obama just signed this very, very important debt ceiling settlement with Congress. And the Senate and the House voted on it. Leader Pelosi was extremely, extremely great in her performance in getting a number of Democrats to sign this, because I would be looking very sad, even in light of this great news. We have to keep this country moving forward. And we won't have the opportunity to use the technologies that Chrysler is offering if we're not strong in our economics. And so we are doing it right. Now that we have the debt ceiling thing behind us, we can move forward on all these kinds of programs. And I want to thank our Department of the Environment for helping lead the way. I know, Melanie, you're gracious in your remarks, but the Department of Environment keeps me up with great ideas and keeps Johanna Parton and me just talking constantly about what else we can do as a city, how we can contribute to our environment. And the Department of Environment just keeps me on my toes to say, what else can we do? And what other partnerships can we create? So I want to thank Chrysler. I want to thank the Department of the Energy for their grants. I want to thank the UC Davis and their work with the electrification, transportation electrification program to make sure that we test these things correctly. And if we test them right and we use our knowledge and our experience with the data driven here, we're going to have the best performing automobiles developed by the companies that have now a great, great interest in saving us from oil and making sure that our country moves in the right direction. This is our new economy. This is one that I am proudly to say that we're joining all the major cities across the country, but we in San Francisco want to lead the way. We want to be the experimenters. We want to be the ones that push out this whole idea that we can do it here in the Bay Area. We do it here, it sends a trend across the whole country that they can do it elsewhere and just get ourselves off of oil, get ourselves into a more a pollution-free society. And I just thank all of the people working together on this. It takes everybody working together to line up not only our educational institutions with us, but our car manufacturers, with the stimulus package from the federal government, and then with our own local leaders to make sure that we're doing the right thing. So again, for these keys, Bazi, thank you very much. Thank you for using your many, many years of leadership in the auto industry to bring forth new technology, new ways of doing things. I want to thank you for your partnership with our Department of the Environment as well, and our Department of Energy. Thank you very much.
So we'd like to take questions from the press regarding the electric vehicles, but did want to first mention that the sound system is being powered off of the battery on one of these trucks. So it is clean, emissions-free power from the San Francisco Public Utilities Commission, our Hetch Hetchy power. So all of these trucks are equipped with an extra battery to run equipment. And yes, and we are going to take questions. Did want to let the media know that there is an opportunity as well to do test drives in these trucks. And there are two other individuals who are available for questions. Professor Tom Turrentine from UC Davis, he's the director of Plug-in Vehicle Research, the Plug-in Vehicle Research Center. And also Jason Connolly is here from the U.S. Department of Energy. He's the project manager for the Chrysler PHEV project. Did also want to thank Bob Hayden, who's on my staff. He's the Clean Transportation Program Manager. And has been really essential to building out the electric vehicle infrastructure here in San Francisco. So now we'll take questions from the press. Thank you.
The question is, how long do you charge it? If it's plugged into the 240 volt charger, it's up to 2 hours of charge time.
And then also one charge, and then after that, how long
It depends on how you drive it. For the first 50 miles of driving it, it's what we call the charge depleting cycle. That's when the battery is depleted to a state of charge where you will drive the vehicle as a regular hybrid vehicle, and then you can charge it as often as you want after that. So we recommend, depending on how you drive, at least twice a day. I'm sorry, sir. That's a good question. For the, again, the charge depleting duration for the first 50 miles, the truck gets 32 miles per gallon. And once it goes into the charge sustaining, the truck drives like a regular hybrid vehicle, and you get 22 miles per gallon. Yes, sir. Chrysler at this moment does not have any production plans, but this technology is an enabler to implement this technology or modified technology into other applications. So it could be a pure battery electric vehicle or a regular hybrid vehicle or even a plug-in hybrid vehicle. That's the intent of this demonstration program.
How much money in gas this would save the city over the next 3 years?
I'm sorry, what, sir?
How much money it might save the city in gas over the next 3 years?
It's a relative comparison to their existing fleet vehicles. So, I mean, I gave you the numbers for the fuel economy and how much the vehicles will be consuming, their fuel efficiency. So, again, Mr. Mayor, I mean, you have 14 vehicles, so you do the calculations?
Yes.
Great. Melanie, step
Yes.
in.
So when you look at the 14 conventional pickup trucks that will be replaced with these 14 plug-in hybrid trucks, they will burn 7,000 fewer gallons of gasoline each year, save about $25,000 in fuel costs, and avoid 91 tons of carbon emissions each year. So very significant savings.
There is another piece of technology that these vehicles have that nobody else has to date, and that is the ability to generate AC power, both 110 volts and 240 volts, up to 6.6 kilowatt of AC power. And that basically makes the vehicle a generator, a mobile generator in essence. The other technology we have is we are linked to the grid through what we call the smart grid interface, and that is you can optimize when you charge the vehicle based on the best available electricity rate. Also, you can upload the power back to the grid through what we call the reverse power flow. So if the grid needs power, you could charge the vehicle at the lowest rate, and then when the grid needs power, you could upload that power back and basically sell the electric company power from the vehicle. So all these technologies combined with the regular conventional plug-in hybrid technology are all of the enablers that we have with Chrysler.
One more question.
Yes, Chrysler has already announced that we will have the Fiat 500 battery electric vehicle that will be out in production next year.
Thank you all very much. We will now do the test drive in the trucks. Thank you all.